take a picture using your Apple Watch, you probably quickly realize that you can't actually do that. The camera app on an Apple Watch just remotely controls the camera on your iPhone, so it doesn't really work. Huge letdown, I know. But lucky for us, there's a product that solves this very issue. It's called the Wristcam. And yeah, it's a camera on your wrist. The Wristcam claims to help you stay in the moment while still being able to capture the moment. The Wristcam is an Apple Watch band that's compatible with all of the Apple Watch series, and it has two cameras, one selfie mode camera and one facing outwards. It connects with an app to store your photos and videos once you've taken them, and it even lets you send live video messages to anyone else who has the Wristcam app installed. When you're taking photos or videos with the outward camera, which is right here, a bright LED light will come on, so you won't look like you're trying to creepily sneak a pic of anyone that you're pointing it at. If you are trying to get to the Wristcam cameras quickly, you can add an Apple Watch face that features a shortcut that takes you directly to the Wristcam app, so the camera launches with just one tap. It's all very convenient. So I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna take the Wristcam out with me on a hiking adventure all the way out to Breakneck Ridge, and I'm gonna try and capture tons of photos and videos without ever using my iPhone. So let's put it to the test.
Walking to the trail, not even there yet, but the Wristcam is in action. Look at those trees. We are at the path that's going to take us to the trailhead, and I'm gonna put the Wristcam to action to capture this moment. So, all I have to do is, the watch face is already there. I just tap where it says take a photo or video. It takes a second to connect, but there it is. We're on the video format. I just have to tilt it and then push the button and we're recording. It looks gorgeous. It should be on 1080p is what I set it to on the app. And once I connect the Wristcam to a charger later on, all of my photos and videos that I take will sync. It does go dark like that while I'm like taking the video, which is a little bit weird because then I can't, like, I'm not like sure that the video is still going, but every time it's still been going, even if I don't tap it. So it's working great so far. Battery life seems to be a little bit of concern, but I did bring the charger and a portable charger just in case. So we are stacked. So we're about like 35 minutes into our hike, and we have taken a lot of breaks because I am out of breath, but the Wristcam is dead. It says off, and there's a little X on the battery, and it tells me to turn it on, but I can't turn it on because it's actually out of battery. Super disappointing battery life because I charged it all of last night to make sure it was charged. I do have a portable charger with me, so I'll plug that in. It is going to be slightly annoying though because the part of the charger that attaches to the Wristcam is magnetic, which is great, but it doesn't stay on like super well. Like I have to make sure I don't accidentally knock it off, so I can't really put it in my backpack. I'm gonna have to keep holding it. So that's gonna be a little annoying. That was a very, very short battery life, and I was hoping to be on the trail for at least double the amount of time that it lasted. So kind of sad, but the view is gorgeous. And I think we did get at least some of it on the Wristcam, so we'll see how that footage turns out. I'll charge it up and hopefully it'll be ready for the next viewpoint that we get to get some cool footage. Okay, so it's plugged in the portable charger. It is charging, so that's good. Hopefully it'll come back to life soon. It is important to note that it's about, like, it says 45 degrees, but it feels colder than 45 degrees. So I wonder if the temperature is affecting battery life. In the app, it says that it should work pretty well between 32 degrees and 50 or 60 degrees. So we should be comfortably in that range, but I don't know. It feels like the battery died really quick, so maybe the temperature is the culprit. Been charging for a while. I don't know if it's the cold or if it's my portable charger, but every time I try to use it after charging it for a while now, it's not really working. It just keeps saying, like, press the button to turn it on, which I'm pressing it, but it won't turn on. So hopefully it'll charge and it'll turn on at least for the end of the hike. I've missed some great views with the Wristcam, which is really annoying. I do have my phone on me, so I got them on my phone, but the whole point of the Wristcam is that I don't have to use my phone. And we've been unsuccessful at that so far because it hasn't been charged. Ah! We are nearing the end of our hike and it's been wonderful. It's been a great hike. But the Wristcam did not make it for that long. So we got some footage at the beginning, but we're not gonna get it at the end here to do a little comparison. We got some comparison shots, but that's been a big letdown because you should be able to take it outside and do your own thing. I'd like it to last a little bit longer than 30 minutes, you know? So that's how it went. But we're gonna take it home and see if warming it up, charging it fully will make it come back to life. I've been charging it and trying to use it and it just never came back. So what can you do?
Okay, so we're back home from our hike. We've warmed up, we've decompressed, we've reflected on our Wristcam experience. The Wristcam is now fully charged. I charged it once I got home with the included wall adapter and charger, and it charged beautifully. So it wasn't just like defunct or anything, it just was that the battery was not that great and it didn't agree with my portable charger for whatever reason. But let's talk about the overall experience. Let's start with the pros. While the Wristcam was working while we were on the hike, it was actually very cool. It was a cool experience and I did really feel like I didn't need my phone at all. I was a little skeptical of it as I was using it because when you're actually looking at the video footage on your watch's screen, it looks kind of grainy and it looks a little jumpy and not like smooth video like you would expect while you're taking on a phone or even a camera. But once you downloaded that footage onto your phone from the app, it's totally great. Like, what looks like jumpy footage is very smooth. I set the camera settings on 1080p and it looks like 1080p to me. Like, the camera quality overall was impressive for something that is on my wrist. In terms of like the physical product itself, one of my biggest concerns was that it looks pretty bulky and I have really small wrists. So I was prepared to not really like the way that it felt on my wrist or even the way it looked. But honestly, it's very comfortable. It does come with the 2 different straps, so it was easy to adjust to the actual size of my wrist. Other things that I genuinely liked was that you can adjust the aspect ratios while you're shooting photos and videos. I actually left it on the default aspect ratios that it was on because it worked for me. So the way the Wristcam works also is that it stores your media that you're taking actually on the Wristcam device itself. And then once you're back on Wi-Fi, it'll sync with the app, which will then download it from the app to your phone's camera roll. Now, let's get into the cons. I don't mean to be super negative about this because, as I said, there were genuinely elements of this that I enjoyed, but it was a huge letdown that I just couldn't capture so much of the hiking experience and being out and about and not having to use my phone and being able to use just the Wristcam because the battery died so early on. So the other element of it that I did find a little bit frustrating was once I got home, it was honestly a mess trying to download the footage that I was able to capture onto my phone. But the process for downloading requires you to have the Wristcam on its charger, even if it's fully charged, because I did fully charge it before I even tried to attempt any of this, but it was fully charged. You have to have it on the charger. You have to have your Wristcam connected to Wi-Fi, which is fine and great, but to get your Wristcam to connect to Wi-Fi, you have to open the app, tap on the Wi-Fi settings, and allow your phone to send the Wi-Fi credentials over, which is also fine. I wish I didn't have to do that. I wish I could just automatically connect to Wi-Fi, but if I have to do it, I have to do it. But for whatever reason, the Wristcam could not stay connected to Wi-Fi. It could not do it. It does have an auto import mode where every time your Wristcam is connected to its charger, it should just automatically start downloading your media in the background. I found that that didn't work because I had to keep connecting it back to Wi-Fi. So maybe if it could actually stay connected to my Wi-Fi, then that auto feature would work a little bit better. But I felt like I had to babysit it to make sure that it stayed connected so it could download in the background. Overall, for $299, I just want the experience to be a little more seamless. You know, I want a longer battery life. I want the app to not fight me while I'm trying to download the media that I did manage to capture. Overall, there are little elements of the Wristcam that could be improved, but it is a really cool product and I understand why someone would like it. I think there's a lot of cool things that you can do with a camera on your wrist that would be better than whipping out your phone. So there are a lot of cool things out there for the Wristcam. I have high hopes for you, buddy. Just please give me a longer battery life. That's all I'm asking for.